The Monocacy River, the Potomac River, the Nanticoke River, the Choptank River. These are just a few of the bodies of water across the great state of Maryland. These water bodies are the most at risk from what we do on our land and put into our groundwater, streams, rivers, and air every day. They stand to gain the most from the conservation practices we choose to implement as part of Maryland's blueprint for bay restoration.
Governor O'Malley and Lieutenant Governor Brown have worked hard over the past 8 years to ensure that Maryland has continued to lead the watershed-wide bay restoration effort. In 2010, Maryland, along with the other watershed jurisdictions and the federal government, put in place a legally mandated nutrient and sediment pollution reduction plan that sets specific reduction targets for wastewater and runoff from agriculture and developed lands throughout the 6 states in the District of Columbia in the Chesapeake Bay watershed. These goals must be met by 2025 in all of these jurisdictions. But make no mistake, from crabs and oysters to boats and beaches, and just as important, clean drinking water supplies in our groundwater, streams, rivers, and reservoirs, Maryland has the most to gain from our bay restoration efforts. This is really a federal, state, and local partnership to improve our local water quality, our habitats and ecosystems, and ultimately the Chesapeake Bay. Since 2009, the Maryland Department of the Environment has worked with local governments statewide, crafting local blueprints for actions that reduce pollution from sources throughout the state. That work culminated with our submittal of the Phase 1 plan in 2010 and a more detailed Phase 2 plan submitted to the Environmental Protection Agency in 2012. These plans are proven, science-based blueprints that define pollution reduction actions needed to save our groundwater, streams, rivers, reservoirs, and the Chesapeake Bay. A critical part of these blueprints is that they are flexible. As we see what works better than something else, we can adjust our plan to be more efficient and ultimately successful. We've achieved great progress during the O'Malley-Brown administration, beginning with the creation of Baystat to ensure that measurable targets are set, tracked, and finally achieved. One of the first actions Governor O'Malley took in cooperation with the other Bay watershed leaders was to establish aggressive 2-year milestones for pollution reduction in all of the Bay watershed jurisdictions and the federal government to ensure that everyone stayed on track to meet the long-term goals for the Bay. These achievements have been closely monitored through Baystat, an interagency group of cabinet-level leadership that meet monthly with Governor O'Malley and his senior staff to oversee Maryland's progress and adjust our actions as needed to ensure we remain on track to meet our goals on time. The Bay Pollution Reduction Plan requires that each jurisdiction reach at least 60% of its ultimate 2025 pollution reduction goal by 2017. Great news is that Maryland has nearly 41% toward our nitrogen target and 61% toward our phosphorus target for 2025. We still, however, have a long way to go, and as we address the most cost-effective solutions first, each additional pound of reduction requires more effort than the last one. Meeting our 2025 goals in a cost-effective manner will require continued implementation of innovative practices to reduce stormwater runoff and limit the pollution carried with it, further implementation of conservation practices by farmers across the state, and nutrient trading to harness the innovative ideas of everyone working together to restore water quality. Working with local governments, we will submit another blueprint for our efforts in 2018, called the Phase 3 Watershed Implementation Plan. It is only by working together, Maryland residents, businesses, farmers, advocacy groups, local governments, state governments, and the federal government alike, that we will meet our 2025 pollution reduction goals. To learn more, please visit us on the web at mde.maryland.gov or to learn more about Baystat at baystat.maryland.gov.